When I was around 9 or 10 years old, New Year's Eve was never a significant holiday for me. My family didn't usually throw parties or celebrate, so it was basically just me watching TV until midnight, then going straight to bed. This routine continued until high school, and I grew tired of doing nothing on New Year's. However, I didn't have many friends, so my options were limited. It was in my final year of high school that I finally received an invitation to a New Year's party. The invitation came from James, one of my teammates on the soccer team. We talked a lot during practice, but had never spent time together outside of school, so I was surprised when he messaged me with the invite. I tried to stay calm and act cool, even though I was excited to finally have something to do on New Year's Eve. James told me the party would be at a house and that many of our schoolmates would be there, along with some people from out of town. I replied that it sounded great and that I would confirm in a few days. On the night of the party, James came to pick me up around 10 o'clock. There were a few other guys in the car that I recognized but had never really talked to. We chatted a bit during the ride, and at one point, one of them asked if I planned to find a girl to kiss at the party. I responded jokingly that we'd see what happened. Eventually, we arrived at the party. The first thing I noticed was the size of it. It was huge. Many cars were parked in the driveway and on the street. I had always been introverted, so being around so many people was a rare experience for me, but I kept reminding myself that this was better than staying home and doing nothing. At first, I felt quite uncomfortable, but gradually I calmed down and started to have fun. I was dancing to the music with everyone when I noticed a girl looking at me. James noticed too. "Dude, that girl is checking you out. You should go talk to her." "I don't know. She could be looking at someone else." "She's definitely looking at you. Go on. What do you have to lose?" "All right, here I go." I started walking towards her but realized she wasn't there anymore. I turned back to James. "Dude, the girl disappeared. Did you see where she went?" "No, but she'll be back for sure. I think she went to the bathroom or something." I decided to get a drink while I waited for her to return. 20 minutes passed with no sign of her. A bit disappointed, I went to another room to get away from the noise. I checked my phone. It was almost 11. Looks like I'm not getting that New Year's kiss. I laughed to myself. Just as I was about to head back to the party, I noticed someone else had entered the room. I looked up from my phone and was surprised to see it was the girl who had been looking at me earlier. "What are you doing here alone?" she asked. "I just needed a break from all the craziness. I understand, big parties aren't really my thing. Did you come here alone?" "No, I came with a friend from school." "Cool. I came with my friend and her boyfriend, but they're off doing their own thing. My name is Mia." We talked for the next 15 minutes. She told me she was from a town an hour away, which is why I had never seen her before. Eventually, I asked if she wanted to dance, and she said yes. When we started dancing, I checked the time and saw it was 11:20. Things continued normally until about 10 minutes before midnight, when I noticed Mia acting nervously. "Are you okay?" I asked. "I'm fine," she replied, but she clearly wasn't. In the following minutes, she kept checking her phone with an anxious look. "If you're worried about the time, I'm sure everyone will do a countdown to midnight." "I know, but it has to be exact," she said. "What do you mean?" I asked. I looked at my phone. There were 2 minutes until midnight. At this point, Mia was visibly restless, looking everywhere but at me. The countdown began. Everyone was shouting around me, but I could only focus on Mia. She looked terrified. "Are you sure you're okay? If you don't want to stay here, I won't be offended." I could hear the countdown reaching 10. Mia was now staring intently at her phone's clock. The place was going wild. The next thing I knew was a blur. Just as my phone alarm went off, signaling midnight, Mia got up and kissed me. It happened in an instant. Then she started to leave. I followed her to say goodbye when I noticed she was crying. "Mia, are you okay?" I asked. "I'm sorry," she said with tears in her eyes. I didn't want to die. Then she ran through the crowd, and I lost sight of her. At the time, I couldn't understand what had happened. I tried to look for her, but she had disappeared. I found James after a while and was ready to go home. He asked me how my night had been. I said I had fun but didn't mention Mia. The situation was making me scared. Her terrified look and what she had said. What the hell was she talking about? Did she think I was going to hurt her or something? And if she thought that, why did she kiss me? Weeks went by, and I tried to forget about what happened. I remembered I had forgotten to ask for her phone number at the party, so I couldn't get any explanation. I just wanted to know if she was okay. I tried asking around if anyone knew her, but no one did. Months passed, and I had put it behind me. I started college in the fall, and life was pretty normal. A month before New Year's, I received a message from an unknown number. It was Mia. She wanted to meet and talk. I was very surprised but agreed. We met on campus. I had a mix of emotions when I saw her again. I was excited to see her, but also angry about the way she had left, leaving me worried without any explanation. Hi, she said. I'm sorry about how I left the party. I felt really guilty about what I did to you. What do you mean? And why did it take you so long to reach out? I was very worried about you for a long time after the party. Sorry, but I couldn't think of another way to explain it to you in a way you'd believe, she said. Tell me then, I replied. She paused. You have a curse now. I started to laugh. Sorry, but that's your explanation? You're right, I don't believe you. I figured you wouldn't. I didn't believe it either when they told me. But this curse only takes effect exactly at midnight on New Year's Eve. The person carrying the curse must kiss someone at that exact time, or they die. At this point, I was more amused than anything else. Go on, I said. Whoever kisses the cursed person doesn't get cursed. The only way to get rid of this curse is to kiss someone exactly at midnight on New Year's Eve, she said. And if I decide not to go out, a random person will show up at my house and kill me? I asked. As long as you're inside your house at midnight, you're safe. I don't know why, but this thing is some kind of demon and it can't enter your house. It can only kill you if you're outside at midnight and don't kiss anyone, she said. A demon that shows up to kill you if you don't kiss anyone at midnight? At this point, I thought Mia was legitimately crazy. I know you think I'm crazy, but trust me on this. If you go out on New Year's Day, you must kiss someone at midnight. Please, I don't want anything to happen to you, she pleaded. I wanted to take it all as a joke, but the look on Mia's face was the same as at the party. She looked terrified, and it really scared me. New Year's Eve arrived, and Mia's story was on my mind. I wasn't going to go out anyway since I had no plans, but it still made me nervous. Nothing strange was happening. I was watching parties on TV when I decided to go to the kitchen to get something to eat. That's when I noticed someone standing in the yard in front of my house, staring at me. From a distance, it looked like a girl. I thought it was my imagination playing tricks on me and went back upstairs. I came back down an hour later, and she was still there, in the same spot. At this point, I was completely scared. I was going to call the police when I realized what was happening. Nice try, Mia, I thought, imagining she was standing in my yard on New Year's Eve trying to scare me. I went to the front door and opened it. I started walking towards her. All right, you got me.
I'm scared.
Now come inside. It's too cold out here. I was about 10 feet away from her when I stopped. From a distance, it looked like a girl, but up close, I could immediately see that this thing wasn't human. Where hands should have been, there were claws, and instead of a face, there was only darkness. Fear took over me. I grabbed my phone and saw that it was 11:59, with only 10 seconds to midnight. I ran as fast as I could towards my house. I was almost at the door when I felt something grab me. The claws on my leg felt like they were tearing my soul apart. I struggled to get inside. I could feel myself being pulled away, but I don't know if it was adrenaline or fear. I managed one last burst of energy, and my body crossed the threshold. I felt the thing release my leg. I slammed the door shut and started screaming in pure shock and fear. The next day, I called Mia and told her I believed her. I can't blame her for passing the curse to me. You can't blame someone for not wanting to die. I haven't passed the curse on. I didn't have the heart for it, at least not yet. So, I stay in my house every New Year's Eve. That's what I've done for the past 4 years. The demon waits for me in the yard every year, waiting for me to come out. I know that eventually, I'll have to go out and find someone to kiss. I now understand the pain Mia felt having to pass this burden on to someone else. So, if you see me at a New Year's party and want to avoid me, I'll understand. But I apologize in advance to whoever I end up kissing. I'm sorry, I don't want to die. I still want to live a long time,